The crowd falls silent as a 99-year-old woman approaches the parallel bars. Her weathered hands grip the wooden rails with surprising strength. In one fluid motion, she hoists herself up, defying gravity and everything we thought we knew about aging. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to defy the limitations society places on you? To look at conventional wisdom and say, "Not today." That's exactly what Johanna Quaas did when she stepped onto the gymnastics floor at an age when most people struggled to climb a flight of stairs. When footage of Johanna Quaas first appeared online, many refused to believe what they were seeing. It's CGI, some claimed. She can't possibly be that old, others insisted. But the truth was even more remarkable than fiction. Born on November 20th, 1925 in Hohenmausen, Germany, Johanna Quaas didn't just break the mold, she shattered it completely. The Guinness Book of Records confirmed what millions of viewers couldn't believe. This extraordinary gymnast really was in her late 90s, making her the oldest competitive gymnast in the world. "I may have an old face," Johanna once quipped with a mischievous smile, "but my heart is young. The day I stop doing gymnastics could be the last day of my life." Johanna's extraordinary journey began in a gymnasium run by her parents. Her father, a gymnast and teacher, and her mother, a dancer, created an environment where movement was celebrated. Young Johanna spent her childhood tumbling, balancing, and strengthening her body, building the foundation for what would become a lifetime of athletic achievement. Here's a more concise 90-word version of that section. Born in pre-war Germany, Johanna faced World War II and her country's division without abandoning gymnastics. After becoming a PE teacher, she continued competing throughout adulthood. At 90, an age when most celebrate basic independence, she made her first parachute jump, fearlessly embracing the exhilaration of free fall. In her iconic green leotard at a Berlin competition, she captivated audiences with movements so precise that younger gymnasts watched in awe. At 97, her activity level surpassed that of many 25-year-olds, baffling medical professionals. So what's her secret? How did Johanna Quaas manage to maintain such extraordinary physical abilities well into her 10th decade of life? Rule number 1: sleep. Johanna never compromised on rest, maintaining a strict 8-hour sleep schedule. She went to bed and woke up at the same time every day, avoiding electronic devices before sleep, and prioritizing relaxation techniques instead. Rule number 2: diet. Johanna embraced a plant-based lifestyle long before it was trendy. Her diet focused on fruits, vegetables, and whole grains while minimizing processed foods, junk food, and sugary drinks. She understood that nourishing her body with the right fuel was essential for performance and longevity. Rule number 3: morning activity. Every day began the same way for Johanna, with movement. She performed active bed gymnastics immediately upon waking, protecting her joints while warming up her muscles. This was followed by a morning jog, setting an energetic tone for the day ahead. Rule number 4: daily training. Dedication doesn't take days off. Johanna committed 1 hour every day to focused gymnastics training. She viewed this not as a chore, but as preventative medicine, a way to maintain her body's health and reduce injury risk. She supplemented her gymnastics with dancing and swimming, creating a well-rounded fitness regimen. Rule number 5: mental health. Johanna recognized that a sharp mind is just as important as a strong body. To prevent cognitive decline, she regularly challenged her brain with games, crosswords, and puzzles. These mental exercises kept her thinking agile and focused, contributing to her overall well-being. Rule number 6: joy. Perhaps most importantly, Johanna prioritized happiness. She believed that the right psycho-emotional state was even more crucial than physical health. Being happy is the key to a long and healthy life, she often said. For Johanna, contentment wasn't an afterthought. It was a fundamental component of her longevity. Rule number 7: stretching. Every day without fail, Johanna performed specific stretching and strength exercises to maintain flexibility and joint health. These included pelvic lifts, side leg raises, squats, and shoulder stretches, simple movements that preserved her remarkable range of motion. The contrast between Johanna and her peers was striking. While many of her contemporaries struggled with basic mobility, Johanna performed handstands, splits, and parallel bar routines that would challenge gymnasts of any age. This disparity raised an important question. Was Johanna simply blessed with extraordinary genetics, or could her approach to life offer lessons for all of us? According to longevity researchers, it's likely a combination of both. Johanna undoubtedly possessed genetic advantages, but her lifestyle choices, consistent exercise, proper nutrition, adequate rest, and positive outlook aligned perfectly with what science now tells us about healthy aging. People always ask me when I'm going to stop, Johanna once said. Why would I stop doing what brings me joy? Age is not about years, it's about how you live those years. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Johanna's story isn't her physical achievements, but the impact she's had on others. Young gymnasts watch her with wonder. Older adults see her and reconsider their own limitations. In a world obsessed with youth, Johanna Quaas stands as living proof that life's capabilities need not diminish with time. When the Guinness Book of Records investigated claims about her age, prompted by skeptics who insisted she couldn't possibly be in her 90s, they confirmed what seemed impossible. Johanna really was born in 1925. Her achievement wasn't the result of exaggeration or camera tricks. It was the culmination of a lifetime dedicated to movement, health, and passion. As Johanna approached her 100th birthday, she continued to train, compete, and inspire. Her story reminds us that our possibilities don't end at 40, or 60, or even 90. With proper care, commitment, and joy, the human body is capable of extraordinary feats at any age. Johanna Quaas didn't just break records, she broke barriers. In a culture that often dismisses the elderly, she demanded to be seen. In a world that expects decline, she chose to soar. Her legacy isn't just about gymnastics, it's about reimagining what's possible in the later chapters of life. So the next time you think you're too old to start something new, remember Johanna, the woman who, at 99, was still learning, still growing, still flying through the air with the grace of someone who refused to believe in limitations. What really happened to the 99-year-old gymnast who stunned the world? She showed us all what's possible when we refuse to let age define us.
As a middle-aged womanizer whose life is in neutral, he is sent an anonymous letter informing him he has a 19-year-old son.
Legendary actor and comedian Bill Murray has just opened up about one of his biggest regrets in his storied career, turning down a chance to work with Hollywood icon Clint Eastwood in the 1980s. In a candid interview on The Howard Stern Show, the 74-year-old Ghostbusters star delivered a powerful message of remorse that reveals a rare glimpse into the road not taken for one of America's most beloved actors. When I see him, I'm like, I'm sorry, I wish I'd done that, Clint. I'm really sorry, Murray confessed during the emotional interview. This apology relates to a decision made over 40 years ago when Murray, after the success of Stripes, in 1981, got a surprising call from Eastwood with an offer to work together on a Navy-themed project.
And I said, well, God, I guess maybe I shouldn't. But it's one of the few regrets I have, is that I didn't do it, because it was a big-scale thing. And I would have gotten I don't know if I'd have gotten a Great Destiny. It was more of a comedy, that one. But he had access to, like, the last of all these World War II boats, and he could have, like, made a flotilla and stuff. And there was some cool stuff in it. And when I see him, I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what. I wish I'd done that, Clint. I'm really sorry. He's certainly well over it.
The original connection between the two cinema legends began when Murray, impressed by Eastwood's films like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, made a bold move that many actors would never dare attempt.
A long time ago, I was watching the Clint Eastwood movies of the day, like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot or whatever the hell the movies he was making then. I was just a sort of up-and-coming guy, and I went, man, his sidekick gets killed, and he avenges. But the sidekick gets like a great part, a great death scene. I was like, I got to call this guy. So I called him out of the blue.
What followed was an unexpected opportunity that Murray ultimately declined, a decision he now counts among his few career regrets. When Eastwood asked if Murray would consider doing another service comedy, the SNL alum hesitated, concerned about being typecast after his success in Stripes.
Geez, would I become like Abbott and Costello? I had to do like military movies. And I said, well, God, I guess maybe I shouldn't.
Revealing the thought process that led to his fateful decision. The film in question is widely believed to be Heartbreak Ridge, the 1986 war drama that Eastwood both directed and starred in, playing the gruff Marine gunnery Sergeant Tom Highway. While the movie still went on to become a success without Murray, the Groundhog Day star now recognizes what a spectacular missed opportunity it represented.
1, 2, 2.5.
It's one of the few regrets I have, is that I didn't do it because it was a big scale thing. And I would have gotten I don't know if I'd have gotten a great Destiny. It was more of a comedy, that one. But he had access to like the last of all these World War II boats, and he could have like made a flotilla and stuff. And there was some cool stuff in it.
Murray's confession is poignant because it comes from an actor whose career has been defined by an unorthodox approach to Hollywood. Known for not having an agent or manager and famously difficult to reach, he maintains only a personal voicemail box that he checks infrequently. Murray has built a reputation for being selective about his roles. This approach has led to both triumphs and missed opportunities. He's previously turned down parts in films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Monsters, Inc., and Little Miss. Both men are established legends. Murray has gone from an SNL comedian to a praised dramatic actor in films like Lost in Translation and Broken Flowers, while Eastwood, now 94, recently released his 40th film, Juror Number 2. Their nearly collaboration is a fascinating what-if in Hollywood history. Two artists with very different styles almost joining forces at the peak of their careers. Despite Murray's regret, he notes that Eastwood has long since moved past any disappointment over the missed opportunity. He's certainly well over it. He's a very resilient fella, Murray noted, acknowledging the director's legendary toughness and longevity in the industry. This comment underscores the respect Murray clearly holds for Eastwood, making his public apology all the more meaningful. The interview also revealed another interesting piece of Hollywood history when Stern pointed out that Stripes, the very film that inadvertently led to Murray turning down Eastwood, was originally written for comedy duo Cheech and Chong. They could have had fun with it. There were lots of stoner scenes in it, Murray acknowledged. Instead, with Ivan Reitman directing and Murray starring alongside John Candy, the film became the fifth highest grossing release of 1981, further cementing Murray's status as a comedy superstar. Murray's candid admission offers a fascinating look at the behind-the-scenes decisions that shape Hollywood careers and the genuine emotional weight that can accompany professional choices decades later. For a man who has built a career on his seemingly carefree, detached persona, this moment of vulnerability and regret provides a compelling contrast to his public image. The revelation also highlights the complex nature of career choices in Hollywood, where actors must constantly balance concerns about typecasting against potentially transformative opportunities. Murray's fear of becoming known solely for service comedies following Stripes ultimately cost him a chance to work with one of cinema's most celebrated directors. A reminder that even the most successful actors sometimes make decisions they later question. As Murray continues his eclectic career, recently appearing in projects as diverse as Wes Anderson's meticulously crafted ensemble films and the Marvel blockbuster Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, this glimpse into a path not taken offers fans a rare moment of reflection from an actor who has largely defined himself by looking forward rather than back. What do you think about Bill Murray's regret over not working with Clint Eastwood? Would their collaboration have produced something special, or were they perhaps too different in their approaches to filmmaking? And does Murray's willingness to publicly express remorse to Eastwood reveal something deeper about how he views his own legacy in Hollywood? The answers may never be known, but the powerful admission from one screen legend to another reminds us that even the most successful careers contain moments of what if.
I want to let young people know I want to let young people know that it is not a burden to love him and to represent him.
5 Grammy Awards in one night, 8 times platinum, a voice that defined a generation, then silence. What happens when a star burns too bright, when fame becomes a prison instead of a platform, when the very industry that celebrates you begins to suffocate you? The story of Lauryn Hill isn't just about music, it's about love, betrayal, motherhood, and the courage to walk away from it all when the spotlight becomes too blinding. Born on May 26, 1975 in South Orange, New Jersey, Lauryn Hill's journey to stardom began on an unlikely stage. Showtime at the Apollo, where at just 13 years old, she was booed while performing Smokey Robinson's Who's Loving You. Most would have crumbled under that pressure. Lauryn didn't. This resilience would become a defining trait throughout her career, though perhaps not in the ways the music industry had hoped. The foundation of the Fugees reads like a coming-of-age drama. A young Lauryn meets Pras Michelle when she was barely a teenager. Pras introduces her to Wyclef Jean, and what follows is not just musical chemistry, but a complicated love triangle that would fuel some of the most remarkable music of the 1990s. In 1996, the Fugees released The Score, an album that would sell over 6 times platinum and win 2 Grammy Awards. Songs like Killing Me Softly, Ready or Not, and Fuji La showcased Lauryn's incredible range, her ability to sing with haunting vulnerability and rap with fierce conviction. But behind the harmonies was discord. The relationship between Lauryn and Wyclef had evolved from mentor-mentee to something far more complicated. While touring with the Fugees on the Smoke and Grooves tour in 1996, Lauryn met Rohan Marley, son of reggae legend Bob Marley. What began as a pushed connection, friends encouraging Lauryn to give Rohan a chance to break free from Wyclef, would become a relationship spanning years and producing 5 children. But there was a problem.
Are you with child? Don't blush on me now.
Actually, yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. This is something that was planned, and are you excited about it? And
Planned in the sense of, I'm 21 years old and going around the world, no, but planned in the sense that, I'm very much in love and very happy. I mean, I see birth as, motherhood as a benediction, so I'm just blessed with another responsibility.
When Lauryn became pregnant with her first child, Zion, the paternity was initially questioned. Wyclef believed he might be the father, only to later discover the child was Rohan's. And then another revelation, Rohan had married during his college years and had 2 children from that marriage, a fact Lauryn reportedly learned only after giving birth to Zion. In August 1998, Lauryn released The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, an album she reportedly produced, wrote, and arranged herself. The album was an immediate commercial and critical success, debuting at #1 on the Billboard charts and selling nearly 700,000 copies in its first 2 weeks. But the triumph was short-lived. A group of musicians known as New Ark filed a lawsuit claiming they deserved writing and production credits on the album. The settlement reportedly cost Lauryn $5 million and dealt a significant blow to her artistic confidence. The pressure mounted. Lauryn was now a new mother, the face of neo-soul and conscious hip-hop, supporting multiple family members financially, touring extensively to promote her album, and dealing with relationship problems. Then came the voice issues. During her Miseducation tour, Lauryn discovered something startling. Many of the notes she had reached during the recording were no longer in her range. She strained her voice trying to replicate what she had recorded. In 2000, Lauryn met a spiritual advisor known as Brother Anthony. Friends described him as possessive and aggressive, suggesting Lauryn was being manipulated. After this meeting, she abruptly fired her management team and distanced herself from former colleagues and friends. Her appearance at the 2001 Essence Awards shocked fans. Her iconic hair was gone, replaced with a short, unkempt style. Her voice was strained, and her performance of Adam Lives in Theory hinted at personal betrayal.